Madden Football brings you the divisional round of the NFL playoffs, and it's brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Eagles and the reigning Super Bowl champs. Coming up next.
It was a common sight in the 80s and 90s, not quite as frequent since, but it's back. Playoff football in the Bay Area here at Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Ahead will decide the second entrant to next week's NFC title game, as we've got a great one in store between the Philadelphia Eagles and the San Francisco 49ers. Hello, everyone. As the postseason continues here on EA Sports, we're pleased to bring it to you. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And who has the edge here? You got one side that had some extra rest, but another comes in off a win last week in the wild card round.
And it's funny, depending on which team you are, you say that that's an advantage. You'll take the rest, you'll take the week off, get your guys healed up a little bit and ready to go. But that team is coming in off of a win last week. They're really excited to keep playing. They feel like they are hot and ready to go.
Who will punch the fourth and final ticket to the conference championship round? We'll know soon enough as we are underway here on a January afternoon. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. And a glance here at the man calling the plays under center, their 6'4" quarterback.
And if he and his guys want to spring the upset here in the second round and move on, they've got to focus on the good that they did in the wild card victory. At the top of that list, protecting the football. Got a little careless last week. A few got away from him. Might not be so fortunate this time around. And if that's the case, they'll end up going home.
He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of the story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what'd you say to it?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
They force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback on the expected pass.
And the Niners get there and bring him down. That is Nick Bosa from out on the edge who worked his way in for the sack. CD, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. It's a 45-yard punt, but a decent return there of 9 yards. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by the #1 overall pick back in 2020 from LSU. It's Joe Burrow.
And he and his team, they were the beneficiaries of a first-round bye earned by a tremendous regular season. He'd been a little bit nicked up, so he could use the rest. And I'm sure his teammates felt the exact same way. But now it'll be interesting to watch their first few drives in this one. Because sometimes getting the rest is great, but sometimes you accumulate a little bit of rust as well. Maybe they come out flat, and they can't afford that in the postseason.
Eluding the pressure right. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
Well, that was man coverage. So once he decides to run with the football, there's no one to account for him, and he turns it into a nice gain.
On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They'll run for the first time with Raheem Mostert. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. Here's Burrow. Flushed out right. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Darius Slay with a pick. And the Eagles are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Unable to corral him. He fights through. 8 yards on the return following a punt of 41. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their second drive. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that.
So costs him a down, and now it's 2nd and long. Finding some room at midfield. And he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. And he is finally out of bounds, but he gets all the way down right around the 20. A big play there for the Niners. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They hand it off to Mostert. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Touchdown 49ers from 19 yards away. And the 49ers are on the board first here in this division round matchup. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Eagles set and ready for their next offensive drive. They're still in search of an initial first down as they come up here 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Javon Kinlaw gets him for a loss of 8. What great push up front. He was still looking through his progressions and going through his receiver options, and while he was doing that, the defense got to him quickly in the pocket.
And it was a great example of zone coverage. Well executed, well coordinated. All the receivers were covered, and he couldn't evade the rush back in the pocket.
Under pressure, they got him again. The safety blitz turns out to be a great call defensively as they sack him for a loss of 9. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Not a great start to this drive. You have the sack, now the false start.
I mean, it doesn't take much to either read lips or just imagine what the head coach is saying right now. Get your head in the game, guys. Let's go.
From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a first down due to the previous penalty.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return, and out will come the offense as they take over.
San Francisco's offense returns to the field. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down. On the handoff, this is Mostert.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
He finds his tight end, Goddard. That's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
Second quarter action, 1:56 remaining. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by at Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend.
Escaping the pressure right. And this is caught at the 8. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5.
Okay, what you is?
That's a big league job there of getting out of the pocket, not panicking, and just buying himself some time. Then he made a good, accurate throw to set up 1st and goal.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Now it's Burrow.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Dallas Goedert there to make the grab. And the 49ers add on to their lead.
Extra point by McCann, up and good.
And that'll make the score 14-0. That time a 6-play drive. And it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco.
Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25.
Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. There was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Airing it out deep for Smith. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now a carry for Sanders. And this will not get close to the 1st down marker as he's brought down at the 26. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Taken at the 37. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
And the Niners ready to go on offense for the final time of this first half. And with good starting field position and 3 timeouts as well in their pocket, no reason not to try and put a late scoring drive together.
They'll roll him out right. Going right Right side here, and that's complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
All right, just call the call. We're going to play it. Come on now.
Well, we knew he was close to the line of scrimmage, and they say he stepped over.
Well, when you see him in that position, you think he's become a runner. As a DB, you start to react towards the line of scrimmage. They can often throw it over your head.
Burrow's throw here complete into the hands of Ertz. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
McCann's kick up and good. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0.
That was perfect. From distance, he steps up, knocks it right down Main Street.
And Main Street's celebrating right now with him, aren't they? I love the mechanics of the whole thing. Snap, hold, everything was right on target, and the blocking was perfect, and he executed so well.
Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men.
Let's go. Let's go.
So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC Divisional Round matchup. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports halftime report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. But first, let's take a look back to Saturday's NFC Divisional Round game. And it was the Green Bay Packers who will continue on in these playoffs as they were able to knock out the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Time now for a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the
An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter three. All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number three. A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. And they've been the better of the two teams through 2 quarters of play, much to the chagrin of this home crowd.
Yeah, this score is a surprise to a lot of folks at home, although not to my dad. He predicted the visitors would win. And maybe to the folks in the stadium. But you know who is not a surprise to, partner? This team with the football. They were very confident coming in.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Flush to his right. Powers past him at midfield. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
Now, that was a whole lot of open space out in front of him, wasn't it? I'm telling you, Brandon, when things are going right, they are going right.
And everything has been going their way for the most part. I saw that lane start to develop. Boom. He took advantage of it. They're able to force him out of the pocket right, but still able to complete it. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done.
Hey, Charles, you look at this offense. They're the #1 seed, a Super Bowl favorite, but it's hard to avoid the topic that this is a rookie quarterback under center making his first ever postseason appearance.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So retract the yardage and retract the touchdown.
And retract the chunk play. Big strike there to get the touchdown. Now they've got to take it back and see if they've got another one still in their arsenal.
Zach Ertz has it complete. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
2nd and 10 here as we sit in the 3rd quarter of this divisional round matchup. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. Touchdown! Zach Ertz from 10 yards out.
And the 49ers continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead. Extra point by McCann, up and good.
And the lead is now 24.
Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. From a yard or two deep, here comes the return. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half.
And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Meanwhile, the throw here is complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. 1 quarter remains for a trip to the NFC title game. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. Well, instead of 4th down after the incompletion, it'll be 1st down, roughing the passer.
Coaches love their defenses to be aggressive, but they want them to be smart as well. Have to leave the quarterback alone at a certain point.
And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down. They'll set up a throw.
And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal.
The Eagles on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Back to throw. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a 1st down.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there, it's going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Again, he'll drop to throw.
That swung out wide to Sanders.
They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, It could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
And he is going to go down back at the 11-yard line. And that sack brings up 4th and goal, a loss of 7. Big play. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had the play call on 4th and goal, but it's dropped in the end zone. And the 49ers are going to get the football back. So they finally get their first trip to the red zone, and it ends with nothing.
And that's what I'm going to focus on with you because you teed it up really well. Finally get to the red zone. So there's got to be a little bit of frustration because they haven't moved the ball as well as they wanted to all game. Now they get there, but we got to go for it because we don't know if we'll get back here again. We don't know how many opportunities because they've been sputtering a little bit.
Absolutely. At this stage in the second half, to get there and not get it for the first time, tough.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. 2nd and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he is out of bounds right around the 34.
Nothing but praise from me for this offense. They have been tremendous all night long. They knew what they had to do to unlock the defense. And let's face it, this has been a master class in offensive football that we've been here to witness.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now a good job shifting right, finding his target. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20.
And that's a nice throw right there. And I'll tell you what I've seen in recent times and actually watched a presentation in the offseason from a college offensive coordinator that showed about 10 different drills that he runs with his quarterbacks to show them how to get out of the pocket, how to get comfortable when they're doing so, and to make plays under that type of duress. That's an example of what we're seeing the colleges deliver to the NFL. Every now and then I can speak from experience because I do know as a defender, it is awfully hard to stay with your man on these crossing routes because even if you don't get picked, there's a danger of being picked either by one of their...
And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
So, my man, another touchdown. They're looking like the #1 seed that they earned throughout the year. Looking pretty dominant right now.
We knew the road to the Super Bowl would run right through this stadium. Somebody's going to have to come in here and beat these guys. Good luck. I don't think it's happening this weekend.
No. Your game.
Fire. Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Philadelphia's offense ready to give us another look. They knew this would be tough on the road, divisional round, and that has certainly been the case with the deficit they face in this 4th quarter.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he comes back with one complete. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. He'll look to throw. He gets it to Thomas. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield.
We got this.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, They don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
As they say, this game hasn't exactly been one for the books. I mean, we're into the fourth quarter here, and now this happens, another turnover. Not one that they're going to hold up and say, yeah, this has been a banner day.
Absolutely. Still sitting on 0.
Yeah, he's able to push his way forward somehow for a gain of about 2 yards. Second down now.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And now we're going to get a timeout. Somewhat pointlessly called with 3 seconds to go in a game that's already been decided. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more, a little insult to injury here late in the game. He made his first attempt, this from 45. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. And the Niners will continue on as we say so long, everybody.